Okay, let's start. And people will join slowly. We are at 28 right now. Hopefully, we will have more people joining later. So thank you so much again for joining today's call. This is our first ever local honorary chair kickoff call. I mean, we call it local honorary chair, but also we will share some experiences from national honorary chairs as well. And honorary chairs are very important for us because they are willing to share their story, and they are spokespeople and they represent us. So we wanted to bring all of you together. So if you can share your questions, or if you have any tips that you like to share, like the first part of the presentation will just be about sharing some media and social media examples and tips. But we don't want to make this call too much about sharing information, and more about connecting and meeting each other and having those conversations. So the other half will be breakout rooms, and after that we can get all together and share what we talk about. Okay, so I will mention that we have some of our staff members on the call. So if you can just unmute yourself and say hi quickly, so people can put a face on the name, I guess. Some of you, if you were emailing back and forth with some of us. We have Rebecca and Amara. Unfortunately, Amara's camera is not working, but they are from the Gutsy Walk team. Rebecca.
Hi.
Rebecca and Amara, they are the Gutsy Walk coordinators, and I'm Neval. I am the Gutsy Walk manager, and I have been with the company since 2016, a long time. We also have Natasha on the call. She's the marketing manager. Hi, Natasha. We have Brian. He's the VP of development. I will slowly check the participant list to make sure I'm not missing anyone. We have, I believe, Josephine. I don't know. Yes. Oh, Carolyn. Oh, Josephine on the call. She's the Ontario Regional Director. We have Carolyn and Nicole. They are development coordinators. Carolyn is in Saskatchewan, and then Nicole is in Ontario North. And who else? Before I move to Lori, I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone.
Andy.
Okay, Andy. Hi. Andy is also our marketing coordinator, and he joined our call, and he's also famous if you are on TikTok. So he's famous with his TikTok videos. And last but not least, Lori, our president and CEO, she joined our call today because it's very important for us to connect all of you. So I'm really glad she was able to make the time to join today's call. So I will let Lori to say a few words. Thank you, Lori.
Thanks, Nabal. And thanks everybody for letting me join. I know the primary purpose is for you to connect with each other and get to know each other tonight, but it is a real pleasure for me to be here to connect with you as well too. Some of you might know, so I joined Crohn's and Colitis Canada almost a year ago, about 2 weeks before last year's Gutsy Walk. I started on May 17th, so I'm coming up to my 1-year anniversary. Crohn's and Colitis Canada is a charity that has been really close to my heart for a long time. My mom has colitis, and she was diagnosed when she was pregnant with me. So we've kind of lived with it our whole life as a family. And she had a hip replacement last June after the Gutsy Walk. So she has informed me that she's ready to walk with gusto this year. So she and I will be out. I'm not sure actually which location we're going to go to yet. We haven't figured that out, but I live in Stratford, Ontario, and I spend time kind of going back and forth from Toronto. So we may land in Kitchener-Waterloo. We'll see. So and I just wanted to really say thank you to each of you for the roles that you've played either for this year or in the past. The role of honorary chairs, of national honorary chairs are so important. I follow a lot of you on LinkedIn, and if you're not connected with me and you are on LinkedIn, if you can send me a message and an invite to connect, I would appreciate that if I don't find you first. I see how much you motivate other people in our community. And I can tell you how much you motivate me to get out there and do the best that I can to raise more money to advance our mission. So again, thank you. This is really one of our most important fundraising events. The Gutsy Walk has been going on since, I think, since 1996, and we've raised $48 million. Think about that. Think about what you've been part of and the impact that you've been part of making. It's pretty incredible. And the money we raise, as I'm sure you're aware, goes to fuel our mission, which is in part about research, about finding a cure and finding better treatments. And in part, it's about our patient programs, things like scholarships and the Go Here app, things like that. It's also funding our advocacy, some of the things that we do to sway the government to adopt better policies. And last year, we exceeded our fundraising target for the first time in like 5 years. We had set a goal of 2.2, second year of a virtual event in a pandemic, and we exceeded the target and raised over 2.3 million. So a pretty big accomplishment and a lot of excitement around that. We had over 2,700 registered participants last year, 496 top pledge earners, and over 700 teams. So based on all that, we've upped our goal significantly this year. As you know, we're aiming for 2.9 million. We've really set our sights high. And with over 70 walk locations, I know we're going to achieve that goal. So, and now my dog is choosing to bark, so I'm going to take a little break and let him out. But I really just wanted to say thank you. And I look forward to working with you as one big team together to exceed that goal this year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lori. Before I move to the presentation, we will have a little ice-breaking activity on Mentimeter. It's our favorite this year. So let's, I will let Rebecca to share her screen so she can ask a few questions, and we'll see what the answers will be. Hopefully it will be a little bit fun for everyone.
Hi, can you guys see my screen? No, just a sec. Here we go. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So if you haven't heard of menti.com, it's basically a site where you can kind of partake in polls or answer questions in a more interactive way. So if you go on your phone or on your computer or whatever to menti.com and you type in the code that's at the top there, you'll be able to answer the questions. And I see we've already gotten started. So yeah, so the first question, how long have you been involved with Crohn's and Colitis Canada?
We have someone who has been here over 10 years. Who is that? Like, and since when you have been involved? Oh, 2 people. If you can put in the chat or maybe unmute yourself, it will be great to hear. Oh, Matthew. Okay. Matthew is our guest today. He was our National Honorary Chair in 2018, and he was nice enough to join our call today to share his experience as a National Honorary Chair and also local Honorary Chair. So apparently he has been involved for 14 years. That's amazing.
All right, are we ready for the next question, Naval, or?
Sure.
Okay. What do you love most about Gutsy Walk? This one you can, I believe you can type in whatever you'd like.
Community, like this answer always remains the same for everyone, how important it is, like for all of us, like the community aspect of it is like number one for everyone to join Gutsy. And I am happy that we didn't lose this sense like during COVID, and we kept it going on social media. And actually it let us, it made us more creative, and we were able to share more stories and have more videos than before, because people were finding ways to share their story and get involved and engage with everyone. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise, I don't know. But at least it gave us the opportunity to have more videos and to see your stories through that. And another thing stands out, it's visibility, connecting. It's very important to connect. That's why also we wanted to brought all of you together today.
If you'd like to, share a fun fact about yourself. I'm the one who's been putting all of your bios on the website, and I've been so impressed with your stories. So I feel like I know all of you already, but I'm sure there's more fun facts you have about your lives. Wow, you guys are already more impressive.
Yeah, definitely. And we have a singer. I wonder, are you planning to maybe perform a little bit on the event day? Which location are you from?
Hello,
Oh,
I'm on
Nico.
mute. Is it okay if I speak?
Of course, sure.
It's Louise, and I'm from Moncton, New Brunswick. And I was asked to be co-chair, and I was delighted to be asked. And I'm fairly new at everything. Started having colitis 2 years ago, and of course it turned out to be Crohn's after my ileostomy surgery. Anyway, I want to give back, and this was my way of wanting to be part of Get Gutsy. And I've got a whole bunch of people that are coming out to walk, and a whole bunch of people have donated to Louise's cronies.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing. And I believe also we put your bio on one of our e-blasts, and so more visibility to people. We are so happy that you become our local honorary chair this year, and you are sharing your story with everyone.
I just wanted to add something quickly is I'm also totally blind, and I have a guide dog, and his name is Mr. Fig, and he's going to be going to walk with me.
Oh, I think we have your picture. We have Mr. Fix's picture, and like many of us, we love dogs, and I know that Amara has one, Lori has, Natasha does, and Rebecca also loves dogs. So that's something we all have in common. And actually, we were thinking we should have some maybe pet swags at the event or something like next time, maybe next year, even like a special like pet walk, like a virtual event for just pets, because we all love animals. Oh, and Nicole says her teacup dog needs some swag. And I think, Nicole, you said you were the singer, so I'm assuming you will perform something at the event. Again, to remind everyone, Nicole is our Ontario North Development Coordinator. I guess we can move to the next question.
Yeah, I believe this is the last question. What song would be on your ideal Gutsy Walk playlist?
Don't Stop Believing. Okay, Walking on Sunshine definitely goes on the Spotify list then. Last year, if you were following us on social media, you may see that we shared a Spotify list, like a Gutsy on the Gutsy Walk Day. So this year we will do the same, and these recommendations will definitely go to the list. Okay, I guess we can just start our little presentation before we go to the breakout rooms. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm trying to see everyone. It's always hard to manage this. So on our agenda today, we will introduce our National Honorary Co-Chairs, this year's National Honorary Co-Chairs, but I believe Claire couldn't make it. Sorry, I'm having trouble opening the Zoom. But I think Mia is here, so I will introduce you to Mia, and then we will talk about the role of local honorary chairs, and we will talk a little bit about media and PR, also social media, and how the event day looks like, what the event day looks like, and then we will go to breakout rooms. Okay, Mia and Claire are our National Honorary Co-Chairs this year. Mia is from Montreal, and Claire is, she will join the Grey Bruce Walk, but I believe they are from a different city than which walk they are going to, so Mia can share more about herself in a bit. So Mia, maybe you can unmute yourself and introduce.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Perfect. So nice to meet you all. I know some of you are some familiar faces. So hi everyone, my name is Mia. I was diagnosed with Crohn's when I was 12 years old in 2017. Already 5 years, time flies. And I'm just so honored to be here as one of the national honorary co-chairs. So yes, unfortunately, Claire couldn't be here today, but we make a great team and I'm so excited for this year's Gutsy Walk. So nice to meet you all.
Hi, Mia. Later, I will be asking you a few questions about your experience as a local honorary chair as well, because I know you have experience with giving interviews on media and all, and same with Matthew, which I will introduce in a bit. I'm checking again, and no, I don't think Claire made it, but I'm sure like many of you are familiar who Claire is, because Claire was also our local honorary chair last year, and then she is also on some of our direct mail campaign, and also on some videos that we share on Crohn's and Colitis Canada site. I will move to role of local honorary chairs. Sorry, I'm having a little bit trouble with my screen. Okay. You all saw it on the job description, but I will just quickly talk about a little bit about the role of local honorary chairs. So they serve as a Gutsy Walk spokesperson. That's the main job and the very important part of it. And we are really grateful that you are willing to share your story and you are very open about it, because this raises the awareness and make people realize and understand the reality of this disease and how it affects people. Also, the other thing is work with local Gutsy Walk committee to share your story and images on social media and media outlets to assist with promotion of their local Gutsy Walk events. Work with the walk chair and media captain to secure interview and media coverage in their local communities, and act as a role model by supporting fundraising directly or indirectly through sharing ideas, doing their own fundraising, promoting the event amongst others, amongst their network. I'd like to mention that I'm having trouble again. I like to mention that it's very important part of it, like I said, sharing the story. Like when I started with Crohn's and Colitis Canada, it was like in 2016, and part of my job was checking those local pages and read the stories to make sure there's no typo or anything, but also I was updating the page with the stories, which Rebecca is doing now, and I'm sure she would agree with me. It's like reading those stories is very inspirational, and I am always amazed with how successful you all are and how interesting hobbies you have and what you did with your life. And to be honest, when I first started, I didn't know much about these diseases, and reading these stories, I was like, really, I couldn't believe how no one talks about it and how none of us knows about it. And after that, I found out my very own cousin actually has Crohn's, which it's interesting because I heard from many people until they start talking about it, they also don't know that they know someone with the disease. So that's why it's very important for us to keep sharing, keep talking about it. And because we understand the importance of it, we are focusing more on sharing these stories and featuring more local honorary chairs and patient stories on our social media, on our e-blast. And this year we created 2 beautiful pages that are new. I'm not sure if you had a chance to saw yet, but sorry, let me just move my screen quickly. So this is our local honorary chair page. I'm not sure if you can all see it. And this is where we have every local honorary chair and then where they are from. It's beautiful to see all these people that, because in the past we didn't always have honorary chairs for every location, but it's great to see that we have more and more, and this number is increasing. And also from these pages, people can actually click on the link and then read the whole story. And then if you register, then people can go to your personal page and support your work. That's why it's very important that you register and you share with people that you are this year's local honorary chair, you are representing whatever location you are, like Kingston, for example. And then people also, like people you don't know and who are not in your community or network, they will also have the chance to read your story and even support your work. Also, I like to share that we have National Honorary Chair page as well, where we have a little bit about Claire and Mia. And there is a nice video about them, and underneath you will see that we put the past National Honorary Chair information. This is also a great way to remember our previous National Honorary Chairs, because it's always like once the year is done, then we replace the information, but it's important to see like all these people that we feature on our PSAs. We also had interviews with, so that's why we decided to put all this information. Unfortunately, we went back only until 2014 because it was hard for us to find the information before that. But okay, so speaking of our previous National Honorary Chairs, I like to say that Matthew, our 2018 National Honorary Chair, and I believe he was also a local honorary chair in the past. He's with us today, so he's going to talk a little bit about himself, and then maybe he can share a bit about his experience as a National Honorary Chair. Hi, Matthew.
Hello, thank you very much. Hi, everyone. I'm Matthew. I'm 18 years old. I'm a second year music student at the University of Toronto. I'm from Brockville, Ontario. And so I guess the closest locals to Brockville would be Kingston and Ottawa. And since my family lived closer to Ottawa before that as well, I think it was in 2010, I was the local honorary chair for Ottawa-Gatineau. And so I think my roles for that was I did some public speaking at the Gutsy Walk event. Back then it was called Heel and Wheelathon. I was also on, I think like CTV morning, so like Ottawa TV in the morning. I think there might have been some newspaper interviews as well. And also because I was only 7 or 8 years old at the time, I think my parents were definitely very involved with it. So they helped me out with a lot of, writing speeches or things to say, and they would go to the interviews or events with me. And then in 2018, I was the National Honorary Chair. So I think I was 16 that year or 15. And that one, I was a bit more, like there's a bit more events to attend and that sort of thing, just because it covered, all of Canada instead of just the Ottawa area. And so for that, it was pretty similar. I was on TV in Ottawa again, but I think it was broadcasted nationally, or it might have been local, I can't recall. But there was that, there was newspaper, local and national. One really cool thing too was there was this 30-second public service announcement type of video to promote the Gutsy Walk in English and in French. And there was a team that came down from Ottawa to Brockville, and we all made it together. I think it was in February, and we worked on making this video together, and that was a really cool experience. And yeah, again, more public speaking at events like at the Gutsy Walk to kind of kick things off. And since then as well, I've been really fortunate to be more connected in general with Crohn's and Colitis Canada. I've been offered other opportunities like this because I've had those roles in the past too. So yeah, it was always a really great experience. I was so happy to be doing it. It was always really fun, and I definitely felt like I was able to kind of contribute something through that role. But of course, you're totally able to, even if you aren't. But you have a lot of you have the ability, of the platform to reach a lot of people, and so I think it's great to to give that opportunity to so many people every year to be able to speak to other Canadians who are living with IBD. And so, yeah, just a really great experience. And I would encourage all of you to say yes to every opportunity that CCC or any other, I guess, like media outlet and that sort of thing would offer. Always say yes if you're able to, even if it's kind of scary or intimidating. I know that I was always nervous going into interviews and similar environments, but it always paid off. It was always a good experience, and everyone is just there to try to work together to support this great cause. So yeah, I would say make sure to try to accept as many opportunities as possible and be positive and yeah, just do your best, put your best foot forward. And I'm really looking forward to hearing more from all of the local and national honorary chairs from this year. So yeah, I think that's what I would have to say for myself, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you all have any, but otherwise, yeah.
Thank you so much, Matthew. And I'm glad that you said, like, even though if you are nervous or anxious, just say to every interview opportunity. That's what I'm gonna talk about next. Let me just share my screen again. Okay. So like, when we say media, we talk about radio, TV, online, or any newspaper. This year, like, this is new, that we are working with a PR company, and we will have some plans on reaching more like media outlets, and they will help us to have more local newspaper. They will reach more local newspaper to get us opportunities to share stories of our local honorary chairs, or we will get more media coverage. So stay tuned, because some of you may hear from us regarding that. And also, if you need any help or training, we will help with that as well. So it's very important to promote any news stories on local social media accounts. And if you are on any local channel, and if we are not aware of it, please make sure to tag us, which I'm gonna show our social media handles in a bit as well if you are not already following us. But we would love to see all these news that you are at, or the interviews, or it can be a radio interview. It will be great to hear from all of you. And like Matthew said, please try to say yes. I mean, I can understand it's extremely nerve-wracking, and I know that some of you are comfortable already, which later we will talk more to each other and find out that we have some people who works in media also with us. But for majority of us, I can imagine that it's not that easy to talk in front of everyone. Also, let's move to some interview tips. So like, it's important to be prepared and take time to review your talking points in advance. Always remember to smile and breathe, and think of it as having a conversation with a friend. Make sure to be polite and friendly, formal but relaxed. Pay close attention, be engaged, sincere, and helpful. Be confident, share the enthusiasm you have for Gutsy Walk, and wear your Gutsy Walk t-shirt. So it's the most important part. These are just a few ones, but we will share a package with you all, and I will talk about it more a little later, which will include some interview tips, also some examples of previous interviews with local honorary chairs or national honorary chairs, so it would also be helpful. And here are some examples. Emma was from our national honorary chair in 2020, so this is a news from a local newspaper. And there are two more. Lev was a local honorary chair last year in Ottawa, and Michelle is also, I believe, in Aurora, but oh, sorry, York region. So they are, they all have their news like on the local newspaper, and it's great to see that they are spreading the word. And also, like I said, we will provide you some links which you can watch some of the TV interviews and radio interviews as well, listen to that. And let me move to social media. So our social media plan right now is to share stories every Wednesday. But starting May, because the walk is getting closer, we will share more stories on Wednesdays as well. So we will we will have the chance to share as many as we can, like twice a week. As we receive your stories and your pictures, we are creating like social media graphics and then writing the posts so we can spread the word as much as we can. So make sure to follow us on Get Gutsy Canada or like Gutsy Walk or both of them. So you can see all these stories and you can also reshare them. Also, when you get your t-shirt, make sure to take a picture with it and post using hashtag MyGWT and hashtag Gutsy Walk. Another like tip we can give is like you can share your favorite memories or like hashtag TBTs from Gutsy Walks if you have any old pictures from Gutsy Walks, like the old Gutsy Walks. And like it's also great to be back to an in-person event because we were having trouble to find nice pictures from in-person events since we didn't have any in 2020 and 21. So we are very excited to have more photo opportunities this year. And here you can tag us on Instagram at Get Gutsy Canada and at Gutsy Walk. On Twitter, it's the same. And also we have the Crohn's and Colitis on Facebook at Crohn's and Colitis Canada. And DM us to share your story, please feel free so we can also share for you. And like I mentioned, we have now a TikTok account. And we are trying to increase the number of followers on TikTok. And these are like the famous guy on TikTok, and he's sharing funny but realistic videos, which are great. And they're also on Instagram and Facebook as well, if you are not using TikTok. And I like to show some of the cool things that you can do to raise your profile in your community. So again, I will switch my screen. Okay. Ooh, okay. It's not the one, I guess. Oh, okay. We are here. So this is a fun TikTok here. Oh, I'm so sorry, my dog.
We can't hear it, Nova.
I think, Naval, if you reshare your screen and add in with
you don't
video.
have the sound?
No.
Oh, I was checking, no one said anything, so I'm like, I'm hoping
Yeah, I think you have to reshare and then click to include sound.
Today I'm having some trouble with sharing my screen. Can it be because I am not the host, Amara or Rebecca? Okay, let me try again. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, we have a new person joining us. Okay, I am having a little bit of trouble, so I will go back to that little later. Maybe like after breakout rooms, I can show all of you these. once I figured out how to do it. Sorry about that. Let me just share my screen. Oh, okay. I remember what it was here. Share sound. Share.
I'm Josh Hall, your honorary chair for the 2022 Red Deer Gutsy Walk, and here is IBD 101. Number 1. IBD stands for Inflammatory Bowel Disease, not to be confused with IBS, which is Irritable Bowel Syndrome. Number 2. There are 2 types of inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, which is what I have. The main difference between the two is with ulcerative colitis, it is only found in the colon, aka your large intestine, whereas Crohn's disease can be found in the entire GI tract from mouth to anus. And lastly, IBD is part of a group of diseases that we like to call invisible illnesses, which means if you see us in the store or if you see us on the bus and we're not visibly sick, it doesn't mean we aren't. So don't judge a book by its cover. I'm Josh Hall, your...
And here is another one, and this is, and I believe Josh is with us today, right? Yeah, it was a great video, and I believe there are more videos and we will share the links to that. But hi Josh, thank you so much for this great video, and maybe we can talk more later. Sorry, I feel like also I'm taking more time with my presentation than I expected, so I will just speed things up. And I want to show this one from Samantha Goodman. She was our local honorary chair last year at the Toronto Walk. It's a quick video as well.
Getting you close when we move, well, you already know. So just imagine nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel a good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Getting.
And the last example is from Mia. I mean, we have many examples. It's just I wish we had more time to share all of them, but I only put 3 as an example.
We do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how.
And this is a very cute video from Mia and her mom. Thank you so much, Mia. So let's move back to our slides. And here, we also had a question about like the event day responsibilities and what the event day looks like. For those of you who have been in an in-person event, the event will look the same. We will still have the registration, the opening and closing ceremonies, some fun activities for kids and maybe for adults, and of course like 5K walk. But not everyone needs to walk the whole 5K. It's just it's for people to do a little exercise and also get together, and it's the fun of it, but it's not a competitive event, so they don't have to walk the whole 5K. But the other thing is food and entertainment. There might be little changes on the food part of it because of it. But we want to make sure everyone feels safe at the event. I know there was a question about COVID situation at the registration form from someone. So I'd like to mention that we are taking some precautions, like we will have masks and face shields available for volunteers, or if participants need to use masks, like they can do that. We will make sure everyone leaves space. We will ask people to confirm that they don't have any COVID-like symptoms before they come to the event. So those are some of the precautions we are taking. But if you want to know more about it, we will add the COVID safety rules in the shared in the SharePoint Volunteer Hub, which I will mention in a bit. And the event day duties of a local honorary chairs are: please make sure to attend to any media interview and photo opportunities. Not every location can have a media coverage, but if you do have it, please take advantage of it. Give a brief speech at opening ceremonies. We will provide you the speech template. You need to be at the cut ceremonial ribbon and lead off the walk together with the top pledge earners. And this is optional. You can participate in closing ceremonies, assisting with announcements and of funds raised, and thanking participants and giving out any prizes. And tools we will share are the event day responsibilities, which I just mentioned, and the speech template, also key messages, social media graphics, and some links to past interviews and more interview tips. And also I recommend that you watch the media and PR training as well as social media training. And like I mentioned, the Volunteer Hub, this is a new page that we have where we will add all the tools that you may need for the walk. So we will add the COVID safety plan, event day expectations, and also local honorary chair documents that they may need in this folder. So let's move to the also how you get access to the SharePoint. We will, if you are not already on the list, we will add you to the SharePoint. And if we are missing, I'm not sure if all of you are receiving the newsletter, but we send monthly newsletter to our volunteers. So we share that if they email us back, we can add them to the Volunteer Hub. And then if you are not already, please let us know so we can add you and you can have access to all the documents you will need. But we will email you everything as well. Okay, let's move to breakout rooms. So those are the questions that you can talk to your group. Of course, you don't have to cover all of it. The idea is for all of you to talk to each other and hear, get some tips or maybe ask your questions. So you can pick some of these questions or you can even talk about different things. But what I will ask you to do is maybe like assign one person in your group, and then they can share what you talked about afterwards. We will spend like 20 minutes and then we will get together and talk about like all the things you guys discussed. Okay, Amara, you can go ahead and put us in the breakout rooms.
I think you just need to make me host and then I can do that.
Okay. Too many technical issues today. How do I do that again? Oh, first I need to find you. Okay, you are here. Okay, sorry. Oh, Josh shared his TikTok. That's perfect. I will follow you for sure. And Taylor says, I have been posting some IBD TikToks. Thank you so much for sharing all these. So Okay, we are having people back slowly. I don't know if we lost some people or they are just joining slowly, but okay, we are at 19. I realized that I forgot to ask Mia about her media interview experience and thoughts. Sorry, I get sometimes nervous and forget things. I apologize, Mia. So maybe we can start with your group, and first you can share your experience with media and if you have any tips, and then maybe you can talk up, or whoever is the person you pick that will share from your group can talk about what you discussed in your group.
Okay, so do I talk in general what we said, or just to make sure?
First, apart from what you discussed with your group, I wanted to know more about your experience with media interviews and if you have any tips for the group, and then you can move to what you discussed.
Okay, so perfect. So in the last three years, I think 2 years, I was in a couple of local journals and in some live TV shows like Salut Bonjour, if some of you know. That one was, I think, the biggest one that I did. It was really stressful because it was like live and at 6 a.m., a bit tired in the morning. I didn't know the questions before, so I was really asked. It was live, so like you go and you do you. So of course I had to prepare kind of the questions are not going to be what's my favorite color. Of course it's going to be related to the diseases and the walk and the foundation and everything. So I kind of prepared a bit of information about, for example, specific things of this year's Gutsy Walk, for example, and also my story. Of course, they asked me about that, so I made sure to know the relevant points. Not what happened in 13th of July, 2019. We don't want to know that. So, the important points about that, about my story, for example. And of course, it was stressful. You never know what you can expect when you're on that live television or either an interview or any types of media. So of course, be yourself. I think that's one of the the most important thing. Be yourself, and of course we're all human, as I said in the group. If you make a mistake when you talk, if you're filming, for example, for whatever media you're doing, it's gonna be television or a journal or whatever, just start again. Don't be nervous. It's easier to say than to do, but of course just be yourself and just try to show who you really are. That's what people want to see. And of course, share, as we said in the beginning, your enthusiasm about the event and why you're involved. So I don't want to take too much time because I know we're already past the time, but I think that's it. Just really be yourself and try to really show who you are in the interviews. So that's it for that. And I think in our group, we also talked about, those specific things, because I think that's really stressful to when you're new to that environment, to those interviews and stuff like that, when you've never did those before. Of course it's new, so you're a bit anxious, but that's normal. We also talked about how to get people involved in the walks in your region or your chapter. I think social media is one of a great way to get to know So, sorry, I'm so messed up in my words, but I'm a bit mixed up. But to get to share what you're doing, for example, for your chapter. For here in Montreal, we just created an account on Instagram because we didn't have one before. So now we share information about what people can expect on the day of, so that people are excited for the walk and want to register and want to participate and get involved. So that social media is a great way to do that. Natasha, is there anything else we talked about? I don't want to miss any points.
I think you've covered most of it.
Okay, I don't know if I was clear. I'm so sorry.
I think so. Yeah, no. Yeah, we talked a lot about just the interview tips and sharing your story, and we did talk about how social media is so important. Yeah, I think you covered it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's move to the next group. Mara or Rebecca, I need your help pointing out which groups we had.
I believe that's Nathan Pembers and Shelley, John, Taylor, and Casey's group.
Okay, if you would like to share the highlights from your conversation.
Yeah, so we were talking about different methods of raising money. So we were talking about like things you can make to sell and things like that. We discussed kind of our own stories. And then we were also talking about reaching out to employers and kind of how to navigate that situation. And if anyone else has any information on that, none of us really knew exactly how to go about it, but we were thinking it could be a good way of raising some funds.
Perfect, thank you so much. The next group?
The next group I have is Rebecca and Brian's group.
Well, Madeline or John, do either of you want to? I'd rather not it be me, but either of you want to mention just a couple of things we talked about?
Yeah. So we chatted about just kind of what to expect on walk day as well, and reaching out to our social media followers and stuff, you know, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and so forth. I think we talked about securing media and kind of what to expect with that as well, in a nutshell.
Great, thank you so much. I will move, like maybe next group, Adam, Jordan, Josh, and Matthew. If you can share what you discussed. And I'd like to mention Adam Scully, he's our Toronto local honorary chair, but he also works at TSN, so he may have some great tips for us, like maybe in addition to what you all discussed, he can also add a few tips.
Yeah, how y'all doing? Happy to be on the call. Tips for speaking to the media: be yourself, have fun. Try, as Matthew and I were discussing, you know, try not to have your whatever you're going to say memorized. Have a point or two, and you know, like if you're trying to memorize something and if you fumble, you might get lost and you might freeze and you might forget about everything that's ever happened in your life in that particular moment because the TV lights are so bright coming at you. So, you know, be yourself, have fun. Slower is better in terms of speech. It's so easy when you're nervous, your heart's racing, when you're being interviewed, that you start speaking at 300 miles an hour. So be yourself, have fun. Get the message out, and we're all just a bunch of Canadians trying to find a cure for IBD. So keep that message out, and I think that's it.
That's great. Anything you like to share from your small discussion?
I think we were sort of echoing that point, and other sort of tips on how to ask for donations, different ways of doing that. And like we were discussing before, how social media is a great tool for this, all forms. You know, we got into TikTok and for those younger ones out there, but more and more for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, just getting the word out there. And I think that was it. Matthew, do you have am I missing anything here?
No, I think that's pretty much what we talked about. And then we also just spent some time getting to know each other and talking about other things as well, which is really nice. So definitely that sense of community there that we were all talking about earlier when pointing out the positive aspects of the Gutsy Walk. It was just another positive aspect of this group call today. So, but yeah, other than that, Adam, I think you definitely touched on everything. Yeah. Perfect.
Thank you so much. That was exactly what we did in my group. We just shared a little bit about ourselves first. Who would like to share from my little group? I think I talked a lot, so I don't know. Josephine, do you want to go or you?
Sure.
want me to share?
No, I'd be more than happy. We had the opportunity to meet each other and do a brief introduction. And then we also touched on storytelling and the importance of it and how powerful it is to connect our donors and our supporters to the why. And we shared on how we can do that and how best to share that, and not always to activate a donor or get a volunteer to sign up, but just to share our mission and why it's so important to those who may not know nothing about it. So just being open, sharing our stories with hopes of getting more people to come and check us out on Gutsy Walk Day.
That's great. We also talked about like speaking different aspects of the disease and how it affects everyone's life. We talk about maybe fatigue part of it. And also Sonia mentioned why I walk is very important. Like she wants to focus on that in her speech. So anything else, David, Gavin, Sonia, you like to add that we are forgetting? Okay, great. Then we can move to our, I believe that's the last group. Bradley, Jennifer, Lori, and Megan.
Yeah, I can speak a little bit about what we talked about. We mostly just, yeah, like we did introductions, talked a little bit about corporate matching and fundraising tips, seemingly like a lot of the other groups about using social media. None of us, I don't think, had experience with the media interviews and stuff like that. So we're looking forward to getting access to the SharePoint and the media kits and all that. But yeah, we're looking forward to it and happy to use the tools we have.
Great. And corporate matching gift is actually a very important part, like a very important tool that we can use that now we have. Like when people make donations, they can enter their company name to see if their company matches. I know, Bradley, your company, like for all these years, they have been matching the amount your team raise, and that's a very big amount, and that's a big help for the teams and your fundraising efforts. So always remember to check like if your company is doing matching gifts. I believe Natasha shared in the chat about that, but we can provide more information if you would like to find out more. So always feel free to email us. You know our email address, like under Gutsy Walk, contact us, gutsywalk@crohnsandcolitis.ca. We receive that email as a Gutsy Walk team, but if you have any question for any other team member, we can always forward your question to the appropriate person. So does anyone else have any question before we finish, or anything else you'd like to share?
Can I say something quickly?
Sure.
I was just going to thank you, Naval, for doing such a great job of guiding us through this meeting today. And I wanted to just say thank you, and Rebecca and everyone else who was either helping coordinate this or organize it, or actually, leading us through and doing the presentation. So thank you all very much. And I think that this was a great call, and I hope that everyone was able to learn something and connect with each other a little bit more. And I'm really glad that I was here too, even though I'm not actually a chair this year. So thank you very much for having me on. And yeah, thank you all so much. It was really nice.
Thank you for your kind words, and thank you so much for joining us. It was also great for everyone to hear from and learn from your experiences. So we appreciate everything you did in the past and still doing so. If no one else has any other question, then we can just end our call. I wish we had time to talk to every single one of you one by one, but unfortunately I also wasted too much time with my presentation, more than I expected. But hopefully maybe we can have another call next year. even though you are not local honorary chairs next year, you can still join our call. We will definitely share the invite, and I'm hoping that you will have a great Gutsy walk and a great experience. So we look forward to following you on social media, on TikTok. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach us. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
Take care,
you.
folks. Thank you.